welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be doing a full face of Kosas makeup, or at least as full face as I could go. I have a bunch of products that I haven't tried from Kosas yet that I've been wanting to. They've been sitting there and I figured let's just knock them out in one shot, get them all on my face, do a first impressions. I've never tried any of these as of yet. This is the finished look, so obviously I know my thoughts already. We are going to have a guest appearance from another brand because as far as I know, Kosas does not make eyeshadow. If I'm wrong, please correct me, but I don't think they've come out with an eyeshadow palette yet. And with all that being said, please give this video a thumbs up, like this video, subscribe if you haven't yet. I do upload twice a week on Sundays and Thursdays. And with that, we are going to jump into me putting all these products on my face, testing them out and seeing. It was very interesting. I'm gonna be honest, this did not go as planned. So stick around, see how they went, see some of my thoughts on these. Let me know if you have the same thoughts. And if you didn't, that is great. Let me know what you did, so maybe I can get my money's worth out of these products. With that, let's jump over to that footage. So I have you all zoomed in as close as I can get. We are just going to get started. The first thing I have is the Kosas concealer. So this is the newer concealer, the Revealer Skin Improving Foundation, Broad Spectrum, SPF 25, and I have the shade Light Medium Neutral Warm 190s. I'm gonna pump it on the back of my hand here so you can see a swatch. So it looks like this. I'm just gonna pick it up on my sponge and start applying. I did go into Sephora to check shades, and I'm really glad that I did because I think I was gonna get maybe like 210 or something like that. I tend to do most of my shopping online. And for the most part, I think you see most of my foundation reviews. If you haven't yet, I'll link the playlist up above. But I do have the tendency to maybe go darker than I need to. It is a little bit tough. My skin tone can kind of change. I tan fairly easily, so sometimes it can just be hard in the winter. However, I'm glad going back that I swatched it in store, just because the swatches online I don't think do any sort of justice to how they actually look. I found that in store they swatched so much darker than online. And had I not done that, I would have absolutely gotten a shade that was too dark for me, even in the summertime. So if you haven't bought this yet and you're considering it, I do recommend going into store to swatch. I don't find the online swatches to be accurate at all. Of course, I will insert in some swatch photos of this foundation compared to some other foundations just for reference, even though this isn't a foundation wear test, but just so you can see some other foundations against it. So here's what the foundation's looking like so far. I used maybe a pump and a half, less than that, a little bit more than a pump, but here's what it's looking like. I think it looks really nice. Here's my forehead. It's a little bit glowy. I think the shade match is really good. You can kind of still see my enlarged pores on my cheeks. However, it looks, for medium coverage, I do like it. I think that it covers fairly well. I mean, you can still see my darkness. We haven't done concealer yet, but the rest of my skin, I would say it's covered fairly well. I like this quite a bit. The only thing I have on my skin is my skincare, moisturizer, and sunscreen. I did not use primer just because I didn't want it to mess with the foundation. So just for reference, I do not have any primer on. And I always link this down in the description box, but I do have normal, leaning dry skin. So I can't really speak for oily skin people, but so far this is looking nice. And now let's go to concealer. So I have already tried this. I think I tested this in a trying new makeup video. I will link that video above. And this is the shade 03W. So this is one, you know, that I bought online. I didn't swatch in store. So this is about the same. Let's actually put it up against the foundation just to see. So this is the concealer in 03W, and then this is the foundation in 190. They're pretty close. Surprisingly, I thought that it was actually going to be closer. This is still a little bit lighter for being 03. So, I mean, we'll see how it works. Like I said, I have tried this concealer before. I did really like it. I just wish I kind of went down a shade, and this is something I did purchase this online. So that's, again, just going back. I don't think Kosas does the greatest with shades. Let's blend this out. All right, so the concealer looks nice. Again, this isn't my first time trying this, so I already knew how it wore a little bit. Can still, I feel like this is more the shadows, just accentuating the dark circles, because in the mirror here, it doesn't look as dark as it does in the camera. So I would still say it's a medium coverage. This is definitely not a full coverage. I don't necessarily hate that. I mean, I hate my dark circles more than I hate the coverage. I would rather it stay this coverage though than be too full coverage and just look like too much. So yeah, I mean, it's looking good. It does nothing in terms of brightening for me, but that's okay. We are now going to go to powder. So I have the Kosas Cloud Set powder in Breezy. These do come in tints. I really like this packaging. I wish it was maybe like a little bit slimmer, but I realized since it's a baked formula, that's why it's domed a little bit. So here is the shade Breezy, and I don't think it's really gonna swatch on the back of my hand, but if you want to see it, that's what it looks like. Nothing, which is great. I don't use a lot of powder, so we're just gonna, I always use this little wispy brush. This is the Sonia G detail brush from the Lotus set, and we are just going to set underneath my eyes, my eyelids. I really just sweep it across. I'm mostly just trying to take down that tackiness. I really do not like tackiness. I do go heavier on my nose here just because I wear glasses. So that's definitely like the first area for me that sweats. So I kind of just want it to be a little bit more locked in. And then for the rest of my face, I kind of just go like this. So you can really see how little powder I'm using. I have heard really great things about this. I'm really excited for this powder. And it looks like, I mean, it's taking down the shine, but not too much, not in an overly matte way. I don't really know the claims of this powder, to be honest. So that's probably something I should have come more prepared for. I'm just looking for something to take down the tackiness, to set it a little bit, to not look over powdery. And that's really it. So here's what we're looking like now that powder is on. I kind of, now looking at it a little bit closer, I feel like the foundation or powder is really just sinking into my pores. It's really almost emphasizing them. That could just be that I need to wear like a pore filling primer, because it seems like it's really just sitting in them. And I don't know if I necessarily like that. It's not the worst ever, but I think that I will try this with the pore filling primer, at least on my cheeks the next time, because that's really the only thing I'm not super loving about this. But let's move on. We are going to be using the Kosas bronzer. So this is in the shade Medium Golden Bronze. This is their baked bronzer. I love this packaging. I think it's really trendy. I think it's modern. And medium is looking a little scary to me. I saw other YouTubers that I follow that kind of has the similar skin tone. They got medium, but it's looking a little dark. So we're gonna remain optimistic and see how this goes. I usually use a stippling brush for bronzer just because I don't want to apply too much. I've had that happen before in a video. So now like this is just the softest way to apply and I can kind of build. So this is usually the point of my videos that things take a turn, but we're gonna test it. We're gonna see. I'm just gonna lightly go in right here. So, okay, it's not looking too bad. Okay, I was worried. There have been some times where it just does not look good. I'm gonna do my jawline, down the neck. I usually will just take it and kind of go down the sides of my nose. Nothing too just chiseled, but just a little bit of bronzer on my nose. This is almost even too much. Where's my powder brush? Kind of just diffuse that a little bit. Okay, that's better. Okay, I actually like this bronzer. It looks pretty natural. It looks just like sun-kissed, glowy. I feel like I just got back from the beach. Like, I feel like my skin looks healthy, not just bronzed. It's not too dark. Granted, I'm using a very light hand. I'm picking up very little, and I'm using a brush that really is going to diffuse, but I don't hate it. I like it quite a bit. I mentioned this in my intro, but I don't believe Kosas has a eyeshadow palette. So we're gonna have a guest appearance that's not Kosas. However, I am gonna use the bronzer to just put it in my crease. Once we get to eyeshadow, you'll see the reason behind that. So we're just gonna do that really fast. I'm just gonna apply the bronzer all over my crease and lid, just to kind of give it some warmth. All right, so I applied it under my eye, I applied it in the crease. I'm really liking how my skin looks so far. So let's move on to blush and highlight. We are going to be using the blush, the Color and Light Cream in Velvet Melon. So it's one of these. This is definitely one of Kosas's older products. I'm gonna swatch this on the back of my hand. One of their more original products, I guess I should say, before they started coming out with the foundation and the concealer. Like, this is more along the lines of their tinted oil foundation. So again, I have the shade Velvet Melon. It looks like this. And then here are some swatches. This is a cream, and I know that I powdered. However, I normally would apply a cream over powder anyways, so we're just gonna test it. If it doesn't work out, that has nothing to do with the product. It probably just has to do more with my application method, but that's how we're gonna test it, because in an everyday, that's how I would use it. And I would like to know if it works for how I use it first before I try and just make alterations to it. So let's just go. I'm gonna use my beauty sponge for this since it's a cream and it can kind of diffuse it a little bit more. So we're just gonna put it there. I also, you know, as you saw, I don't powder very heavy, so a lot of the times creams won't be too bothered by the powder since I'm not using as much powder. This is pretty. It's a very wet looking. That's my only gripe about this. The color is really nice. but my skin looks sticky. I don't know if you can tell. It doesn't look dewy, it looks sticky, like sweaty. I don't know if I like that. Again, the color is really nice. It goes really nice with the bronzer. It's just really giving like that sun-kissed, kind of sunburnt look. I feel like I see it more in my mirror than I do on camera. I don't want to continue to build this though, just so you can see it on camera. It's really showing in my mirror. Is it just the lights? So I've done about 3 layers. I feel like you can see it on camera. However, it's not picking up as strongly as it does when I'm looking in my mirror. Like I said, I'm liking this color. I'm liking everything so far, but it doesn't feel that sticky. I feel like my skin looks sweaty. I don't know if I really like that. Let's do the highlight. The highlight is way more emollient. I don't know if you can tell. Just like my finger glides over it. It's so much more emollient than the blush. Like here I can really rub my finger and you don't get like that. So that's very interesting to me. I don't know the reason behind that, but I just thought I would point it out. Doesn't seem like the highlighter would really last as long. I don't know. I don't really like the texture of this. I'm going to, again, just dip my sponge into this, but I'm going to use the more pointy side. And then we're going to kind of just go on the high points of the cheeks. I'm not going to use that much because this is already, it's just the same thing as with the blush. Like it's just looking sweaty. And I know that like that wet look is really popular. It's just, I don't know if it's for me necessarily. I like a little bit of shine and, you know, healthiness, glowiness, suppleness. However, this might be a little too much for me. I'm starting to think that this is like for a very specific look. This is not an everyday kind of palette. This is when, you know, maybe you're not wearing any foundation and you kind of just want some highlight on your face, some blush, like a little bit of something. It's nice. It's just, I feel like the way that I'm using this is not correct. If you use this product, love this product, it's like a holy grail, let me know in the comments how you apply it, because I feel like maybe I'm not using this correctly. I don't know. I'm undecided. I'm gonna think on it. We are almost through all the products that I have. The last thing that I have is the Air Brow, and I have the shade Soft Brown. So this is just the brow gel. Try and swatch this for you. Brow gels are always just hard to swatch. So it is pretty dark. I think that's why I got Soft Brown. Usually with the, for example, Anastasia Brow Wiz, I use medium brown. So for Soft Brown, this is looking kind of light. I don't think my brows are terrible. I just have like some sparse areas. So usually I'll go in with a gel first. I will push all my hairs up. I'm gonna see if I can do brows on camera. This is gonna be interesting. Never done this before. So I'll push all the brow hairs up just so I can see the sparse areas. And while this is kind of drying and setting and holding, I'll do the other brow. Even though I feel like I don't have terrible brows, brows are one of the things I struggle with the most just because my eyesight is so bad, especially this eye is worse. So I have a hard time seeing my brows, and for the most part, they look like distant cousins. They never look like sisters. Okay, so now that these are up, they're brushed up. I don't keep them brushed up this high. I can't do too fluffy, but now I can see the sparse areas. I'm gonna go in with my pencil, fill in the sparse areas, and then we'll come back, kind of talk about what I think of the brow gel. Brows are done. This is a interesting brow gel. I think I'm gonna save my thoughts for the end when I kind of recap everything, but this is definitely just a brow gel I've never tried before. It works a little bit different. I don't not like it. I just feel like this doesn't work like my other ones. And granted, I haven't tried, 20 different brow gels. Just this, I think, needs, again, a different application process than what I'm used to. I don't hate it. I think my brows look pretty good. So let's move on to the last thing I have to try. It's not Kosas. It is actually the Auric Smoke Reflect. This is in Defiance. So I've tried this formula already. I have the rose gold one, Temper, but I figured I haven't opened this one yet. I haven't used it. So we would try Defiance. I love Temper so much. I can't get over how great these are, and that's why I figured I'd want to try it. So here is Defiance, the cream. I'm going to swatch it on the back of my hand here. So here are swatches. Here's just the cream. Here's just the topper, and then the topper over the cream. I can't get over how stunning these are. They're just absolutely amazing. Every time I pull out an eyeshadow palette and then I re-pull this out, I'm like, why did I ever stop using this? It's just something I could use every single day for the rest of my life. I don't think I've ever fallen in love with an eye product as much as this product. Anyways, now that I've hyped this up enough, we're gonna apply it. So now you can see why I put bronzer in my crease. I think we're just gonna take the cream and we're gonna just put it on the outer edge a little bit. And then we're gonna take the topper and put it all over. So let me grab a brush. This is the Morphe R39. It's kind of just a smaller, stiff blending brush. I'm just gonna pick up a little bit here, and we're going to define the outer corner. Just kind of deepen this up. Bring it a little bit up in the crease, a little bit higher, so maybe make my eyes look a little bit more open. Okay, I really didn't apply too much there. Let's do the other eye. I'm also gonna do the same thing when I apply it just to the outer edge of my bottom lash line and just kind of connect it. Now that we have the cream down, let's do the best part and do the topper. All right, you're about to see some magic if you haven't seen these in effect. I'm gonna just pick it up with my ring finger, look down and just tap, tap, tap. And this is where it just really brings everything to life. It's just so understated, it's subtle, but so special. It's just hard to explain how great these are without experiencing them for yourself. All right, so eyes are done. Here they are. I am still going to go off camera to finish the rest of my makeup. It's not gonna be anything super special. Just add some liner, mascara, lips, and then I will be back to kind of recap my first impression thoughts on these products so far. Okay, we're back. The rest of my makeup is on. If I didn't mention it on camera, everything that I'm wearing is listed down in the description box below. So let's kind of go over these products and kind of give my first impression thoughts. I'm still a little bit undecided about some of them, but let's just get started. The foundation. There's something, and I guess this is where I'm undecided. I can't tell if it's the foundation or the powder that I just don't like. I just feel like I look sweaty. I know I've already said that a million times. I don't look like glowy and healthy and just like that lit from within look. I just look like it's hot outside and I'm sweaty. And it could just be it's summertime and I feel that way. So maybe now like it's translating onto my face. I mean, I'm not sweating, but there's just something about this. It doesn't do anything for my pores. And let's just talk about the powder. I'm gonna go out of order here. The reason I can't tell if it's the powder or not is because like this powder, you know, I've only used this once, and like look at the hard pan. And clearly that's from my face just being so wet. I already took a spoolie once and like scraped it off, and I still got this afterwards. So I'm not sure if it's the powder or the foundation that's just not agreeing with my skin. I did apply more powder as I was finishing up my makeup because I went to put eyeliner on, and you kind of pull your eye down a little bit, gently. However, my foundation was sliding, and I've never had that happen before when I was putting my eyeliner on. So I was like, okay, I guess I need to powder more. And that's when I scraped off the top. I put a little bit more powder on. It's just, for whatever reason, it's like making my pores bigger, and it's also just so tacky. Like, I don't like that feeling, and I don't think that it has to do with just this product. Yes, this is a very wet, tacky formula. Like, obviously this is a cream, blush, and highlight. I just don't think that has to do with the way my entire face feels. I really think it has to do with this or the powder. I'm hoping it's the powder because I really wanted to love this so much, and I'm gonna be disappointed. I'm gonna maybe try this with a pore filling primer and just see if that helps the situation, and maybe a different powder, and then use, this powder with a different foundation. I'm gonna test it out, and I'll probably do some kind of recap video. But for now, I don't know, one of these two, they're not doing it for me. Like, even on camera, like, my face just looks, and it just feels like I've been outside working all day long, and like it feels just melty. It doesn't feel good, is all I have to say. The concealer, I've used this before and I like it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it covers dark circles fairly well. It's not a full coverage. I don't want it to be. I don't expect it to be. I think this is a just solid concealer, and it definitely is better than the foundation, that's for sure. We'll just touch on this again. I think that, and I mentioned this in the applying video, that the way that this product is intended for is not the way that I'm using it. I think that this is meant to be just on bare skin, just a very light coverage, no foundation, no anything, to just kind of enhance some features. And that's how I'm gonna try this, maybe, because it looks very pretty. It just, for me, I don't like, it's just all of these are accumulating, like stacking on top of each other, on just why I don't enjoy my makeup right now. This highlight shade I especially don't like. I just don't like how liquidy it is compared to this. I already showed that off, but it, like, seriously, I could just stick my finger and it would just sink right in. It's very odd, which disappoints me because I do really like the blush. I just don't know if I would reach for it because I know I wouldn't use the highlighter. And it sucks when, like, you can't use all the products inside of a little palette, especially when it's just a duo. So I don't know. I can see myself maybe getting a little bit more use out of this, but I can see it getting decluttered fairly quickly. And just as a side note, like, my face has just been itching because, like, the little hairs are sticking on my face everywhere. I've had to stop like 5 times to get the little hairs off my face. It's like super annoying because my face is so wet. Ooh, it drives me crazy. Okay, let's go on to some of the better products. I think out of all of them, my favorite is this bronzer. I really like this. I was very nervous about this because I got the shade medium. As you can see, again, it's just very dark in the pan. I probably should have gotten light. That's okay though. It still worked out really great. It doesn't really have a smell. I don't know. I could kind of smell it, so I wanted to see what it smelled like, and it smells very earthy. I don't know, it smells kind of interesting, but I really liked this product. Surprisingly, this was my favorite out of all of them. I think it gives a really nice sun-kissed glow. It has a sheen, but it's a powder, so it's not making your skin look wet. And I will absolutely be using that again, and not in like a, oh, I need to figure out how this works way, but like an, oh, I like this kind of way. And then the last Kosas thing is the brow gel. So I mentioned when I was applying this that it's just different from what I'm used to. First off, like I love this packaging. Purple is my favorite color. So this like clear purple, I am all about. I wish like both of these were in that purple color, but that's okay. The thing about this is I feel like you have to use this after a brow pencil. Once it's in your brows, it's very thick or just thicker than what I'm used to. I use the Gimme Brow from Benefit quite often. And with that, it's a little bit thinner so I can fill in the areas with my brow pencil. This is almost just so thick that coats your eyebrow hairs that my pencil like couldn't push through it and fill in those sparse areas. And that is not a con to this product. It's just an observation that you need to use your brow pencil if you're filling in sparse areas before this brow gel. I feel like this brow gel was intended for people who have perfect brows and they can just swipe it in and go, and this will just kind of hold it, make them a little bit thicker, and you're good. For people who don't have perfect brows, then again, to repeat myself, you need to use a brow pencil first to fill in those areas and then go in with this product, because it's just gonna coat your eyebrow hairs way too much and you won't be able to go in with a pencil to draw those little hair-like strokes. It'll almost just like reject it. So that is what I think about this. And then the last thing I have that is not from Kosas is this Auric in Defiance. Again, I've already used the Temper shade. I brought that with me to Arizona. I love these. I said it when I was applying it. It's just, they're so subtle. It looks great with my glasses even. I feel like this just brings everything to life. Like, I love this so much. If you haven't tried it, go out and get it. Do not wait. I have their holiday ones as well. I have not tried those. And I do not have, the only one I don't have is Ego. I was a little bit hesitant. However, I was also a little bit hesitant about this one. I thought it was going to be too gold, but it's definitely more of a bronzy, which is what I was hoping. So I'm happy with that. And I will probably pick up the Ego one at some point. I just was thinking it was going to be very like steely gray, and maybe it's not. So I will probably be picking that one up because I just love these so much. And with that, I'm going to wrap up this video. If you haven't watched any of my videos, I live on a farm in France, and my mom has started hammering posts outside. So that is my cue. I need to wrap this up and let you guys all go, or else you're going to continue to hear hammering, and she's on a mission. She's not going to stop regardless of me filming. So I'm going to keep this really short so you don't hear that anymore. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It always helps me to know what kind of videos everyone likes to see and watch, and then that way I can make more of those kinds of videos, just common sense. Oh my God. Now the dogs have started barking. Oh no. Okay, can I just tell you to subscribe if you haven't yet? And with that, we're gonna super end this video because now chaos has ensued. The dogs are barking, my mom is hammering. This is life on a farm. I'm gonna go. I will see you all in my next video. Bye everyone.